Amazon CloudWatch alarms provide automated monitoring and alert notifications for your AWS resources. They allow you to proactively monitor your infrastructure and respond quickly when something goes wrong. Think of CloudWatch alarms as vigilant watchers that continuously track the health and performance of your applications and services. When specific conditions are met, these alarms automatically notify you or trigger actions to help maintain system reliability. This is essential for maintaining operational excellence in the cloud, ensuring you're always aware of critical changes in your environment. CloudWatch alarms are automated monitoring tools that watch metrics and trigger actions when thresholds are breached. A metric is simply a measurement of something in your AWS environment, like CPU usage or network traffic. The alarm continuously evaluates these metrics against conditions you define. For example, you might set up an alarm to watch the CPU utilization of your EC2 instance. If the CPU usage exceeds 80% for 5 consecutive minutes, the alarm can automatically send you an email notification or even trigger an auto-scaling action to add more instances. Every CloudWatch alarm exists in one of 3 possible states. The OK state indicates that your metric is within the defined threshold and everything is operating normally. The alarm state means the threshold has been breached and your defined conditions have been met, requiring attention. The insufficient _data state occurs when there isn't enough data available to evaluate the alarm. This typically happens when an alarm is newly created, when the metric hasn't received data yet, or when there are gaps in the data being collected. Understanding these states helps you properly interpret the health of your monitored resources. Creating a CloudWatch alarm requires understanding 4 key components. First is the metric, which represents the specific data point you want to monitor, such as CPU utilization, disk reads, or request count. Second is the threshold, which defines the limit that triggers the alarm. For instance, you might set a threshold at 75% CPU usage. Third is the period, which specifies the time interval over which CloudWatch evaluates the metric. You can choose periods ranging from 10 seconds to 1 day depending on your needs. Finally, the action defines what happens when the alarm triggers, such as sending notifications or executing automated responses. The first step in creating a CloudWatch alarm is selecting the metric you want to monitor. Begin by navigating to the CloudWatch console in your AWS Management Console. From the left navigation menu, choose Alarms, then click on the Create Alarm button. You'll be prompted to select a metric from the available options. Oz provides many built-in metrics for services like EC2, RDS, Lambda, and more. You can choose from existing metrics or create custom metrics specific to your application. The metric selection determines what aspect of your infrastructure will be monitored by this alarm. After selecting your metric, the next step is defining the conditions that will trigger the alarm. First, set the threshold value that determines when the alarm should activate. Then, choose a comparison operator such as greater than, less than, or equal to. For example, you might want the alarm to trigger when CPU usage is greater than 80%. Next, define the evaluation period, which determines how long the condition must persist before triggering. You also specify the number of data points to alarm, which means how many time periods within the evaluation must breach the threshold. This prevents false alarms from temporary spikes in your metrics. The final step is configuring the actions that occur when your alarm changes state. For notifications, you'll typically send alerts to an SNS topic, which is Amazon's simple notification service. You can either create a new SNS topic or select an existing one. The SNS topic can then send notifications via email, SMS, or other endpoints to inform your team. Beyond notifications, CloudWatch alarms can trigger additional actions. You can configure auto-scaling actions to automatically scale your resources up or down based on demand. You can also set up EC2 actions to stop, terminate, or reboot instances when certain conditions are met, enabling automated remediation of issues. Following best practices ensures your CloudWatch alarms are effective and maintainable. Use descriptive names for your alarms that clearly indicate what they monitor and why they matter. This makes it easy for your team to identify issues quickly. Set appropriate thresholds based on your actual workload characteristics rather than arbitrary numbers. What's normal for one application may be abnormal for another. Always test your alarms after creation to verify they trigger correctly and send notifications to the right recipients. Finally, review and adjust your alarms regularly as your application evolves. Thresholds that made sense 6 months ago might need adjustment as your traffic patterns and infrastructure change over time.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.